All right, here we are at 104 Highland Avenue, Avella. So some of the concrete and block work is aging, getting closer to end of life, or at least needing patched up in areas. So now that none of that's anything that's essential, it's just a little divider there, I think, to keep the water from flowing all the way up, right butt up against the foundation of the house. There is a one-car garage back here. Sidewalk tilts decently, so if you're ever going to have to deal with like a wheelchair or anything, or if you're not comfortable with a little bit of terrain, stuff like that, that's going to be a little treacherous, especially in the winters we get here, covered in ice. So you'll want to take care of that. But you can see an extra parking space or so back here. Some gravel grown over here into the garage. All they have here is a brick to park on, and then everything else is mostly dirt with a little bit of gravel. Looks like there's been some leaking on the roof here. Multiple spots. So that's something to be aware of. You'll probably need a new roof. With just how many spots I'm seeing, probably gonna need to have the roof replaced. Maybe some of this plywood underneath. But yeah, the rest of this, it's a metal building, so it's fairly stable. You know, it's in fairly good shape. But yeah, I mean, you can see here, I'm holding the phone at the same angle I'm walking, like it's a fairly heavy slope to the left. So outside of the house, you can see hole there in the siding. But overall, it's actually it's newer. That's probably, you know, a rock or something from when they mowed the lawn, punched through. You do have an enclosed back porch now. It is just a little hallway type deal, so it's nowhere to sit. Windows do look newer from out here. I'll get a better look from the inside. Air conditioner isn't running, so definitely close to end of life. You can see the rust, the corrosion on the inside too. So something to be aware of. It may still function now. I don't know. That's what a home inspection's for. Front porch here, wood's never been treated, so you'll want to get this painted, stained, sealed in some way, moisture sealed in some way, shape, or form here. You can see it's settled a little bit and leans towards the front. And the same thing here. You can see it's leaning, and this would also, you would want to treat. Looks like you have a crawl space here underneath the porch. But it is a nice sized front porch. They do have the porch swing up there, so you can sit and relax and enjoy, you know, nice cool evenings outside. Along here, everything looks pretty standard, block foundation, nothing jumping out, no holes or anything in the siding that I'm seeing on this side. So all the windows look to be newer, not new, but newer. You can see a little bit of paint peeling here along the bottom. So as we head in here to the kitchen, from the back, you can see a nice sized island in the middle. Decent sized kitchen, decent amount of cabinet space. Nothing out of the ordinary there. Here we have older cabinets. You can see hardwood, they've been painted over. I'd probably put those in 70s. And they have a little wood accent piece there to hang things. It looks like double sink. Looking underneath, has been updated. You can see PVC there and copper water lines. And you still have some other space here as well. So a nice spacious kitchen to work with. There is a first floor laundry here. So you can see you have your washer and dryer. And the pipes and everything you need there. So that's nice. You don't have to go all the way to the basement to do the laundry. You have that up on the first floor. This looks like the living room here. You can see the mantle's now just decorative. Or I'm sorry, the fireplace is just decorative. So as I pan the living room, you can get a pretty good idea of the size. You can fit a love seat there. A small full-size couch there. And a large full-size couch there. So tons of room to work with. Different options on how you want to set the living room up. You have your front door entryway here. And we have the dining room here. Looks like it has some newer laminate floor put in. So it's a nice sized dining room. I mean, I'm thinking standing in the corner to give you a pan here. I'm thinking you could fit a 12-person dining room table here and, do it comfortably. So a good amount of space. Looks like there was a fireplace here at one point they removed. So we'll go ahead and head upstairs. Bedroom number one, probably what was considered the master bedroom. You still have the original hardwood here. It's a nice big bedroom. 18 feet, I'd put this, maybe 19 or 20, but nice width there. We have an extra closet here that could be made into a walk-in. You also have your attic access, and you have another double door closet there. Here, probably 12 feet, 13 with the cutout there where the fireplace isn't. So very nice large size bedroom. Bedroom number two, tons of storage, two double door closets. Looks like the doors might need a little work. Probably 12, 13 feet by 10 to 12. So nice size second bedroom. Third bedroom, a little bit oddly shaped, but great for an office. You could have your computer and desk there or here. Another double door closet, so more storage space. But this could be an office, a craft room, multi-purpose room, whatever you want to do with it. You know, you have the nice big second bedroom. That could be a guest bedroom, or this could be if you had something more in mind for the second bedroom. And here, a fixture on the sink. Sink is newer. Toilet's relatively new. Tub too. You can see here the old tile finish up top. So could use a caulking here along the top of the unit. It's worn away pretty well. So that will be one thing I would do, but that's something you can do on your own. Tiles definitely older. I'd put it 70s, 80s, maybe 90s, but tile kind of started going by the wayside then. Fixture, detachable shower head, not bad shape at all. Probably been replaced more recently, a few years old. Fixtures on the tub. Tub probably a bit older. It looks like they did the sink and the toilet, but didn't touch the bathtub and shower other than the fixture. But a nice sized bathroom for you. And you can see they have some of the old push button lights here. So still a few of those old touches that you don't see very often anymore. And then here, head down to the basement. Again, a little bit of a musty smell, so I'm gonna say it's definitely not a completely dry basement. There's definitely a loose step along there that you'll want to secure, probably somewhere in there. I wasn't exactly paying attention. I was trying to counting stairs where it was. So here's your washer setup, where your washer would go. Main stack looks like it's all been updated to PVC, so that's a plus. Stationary tub. And you have a Pittsburgh shower, although it does have a unit, so it's not totally a Pittsburgh shower, and a Pittsburgh potty with a little bit of privacy, so that's a bonus. And you have your own little spotlight here. So if you want to bring some reading materials down, you've got plenty of light to read. But yeah, this again, older. You can see it's Sears brand, so that tells you it's probably at a minimum 30 years old, 20 to 30 years old. You can see they do have a dehumidifier running down here, and they have the hose just going straight into the drain, so it basically runs 24/7. So this is the washer area. Looking for, looks like they capped that off for maybe the dryer here. That's looks like a gas line. Let's see. You can see here too, some of the paint, everything is peeled. Some moisture coming through. Looks like a little bit of block displacement. Not terrible. Usually if you have a little bit of block movement, if you get a structural engineer, they're going to tell you a 1/2 inch of displacement or more than a 3-degree bubble. So I don't think you've surpassed that. I don't think this foundation has surpassed that yet, but it's something to be aware of. You have your water meter there. Looks like you have some moisture coming in the corner. So again, like I said, not a dry basement. Furnace, Lennox, good brand. Age, old. 35 plus, 30 plus, somewhere in there. So again, be aware. Here it is actually, I believe, gas for your furnace. So I will have to double check the listing to be sure, but yeah, definitely an older furnace. Again, moisture here in this corner. Breaker box. Looks like that was put in 2001. Again, almost all the wiring is new. They have a couple branches of cloth wrapped, which is older, like 40s, 50s. 2 open panels, so you still have enough room for like 1 220 outlets. Coal cellar storage in here. And then we have a door here. I'm gonna guess this goes outside, but yep, and stairs up and out. So this was all done. Looks like a do-it-yourself job with just blow-in insulation everywhere and pipe for the air conditioning. And then we have more storage here. Looks like, again, some moisture here. You can see the staining on the wall where it's drying and leaving minerals and calcium, that kind of thing. And one last little extra storage cubby behind that storage that you saw on the other side. So tons of extra space here. I did not see I'm not seeing anywhere a vent for a dryer. That is one thing I don't think I've found yet. So you may need to get one of those internal, dryers with the internal exhaust, and you just have to clean it out every couple times that you use the dryer. But that's the house. If you have any questions, let me know. And if you have any interest, let me know, and I'll be in touch soon. Oh, one other thing I didn't cover when I came around front here, you can see the front stairs. Concrete's rough. They've tried to patch it up. You can see it's actually block, and they put a layer of concrete on top. But it is leaning back that way, so not a terrible, it could be leaning forward. Retaining wall also here is just going. Too many years, too much weight. It's just kind of hit the end of its lifespan. And you can see all the way down here, it's leaning forward too. So again, another kind of big ticket thing that you'll have to worry about sooner rather than later, because it will just come down, and there's nothing holding that dirt back at that point. You can see here on this side too, cracks, rough. It's really pushed out here. That's probably because of these bushes. And then it converts over here to wood all the way over. This actually isn't in as bad a shape from the leaning perspective, but as you can see, wood's deteriorating. And if you're gonna have someone come and do the other side, you're probably just gonna make more sense to have the whole thing redone and have it be done and not have to worry about it again.